My region is Europe and the Middle East, North Africa. So a very large region, stretches all the way from Ireland to Saudi Arabia. There's 25 countries that import in the Europe and the Middle East of U.S. soybeans. So a lot of diversity and a lot of good markets and a lot of growth. Even though you don't always hear positive stories in the Middle East, it's still a very good market for U.S. soybeans. Soy is used primarily in the animal feed industry in Europe and the Middle East. Poultry is the largest use. In Europe, the hog operations are very large and take advantage of U.S. soy. Also, we work in the Middle East on dairy and quite a bit on aquaculture, as that's a couple of good growth markets that we see lots of opportunity for. U.S. soy in Europe and the Middle East is very popular, and some of the reasons for that is the high quality, the amino acid, also the energy. For instance, I was just in North Africa and we met with customers, and they very specifically make sure they keep their U.S. soybean meal for the baby chicks, for the breeders. So these specialized, very sensitive, the most important part of their commercial flocks, they're making sure to use U.S. soybeans. So they take advantage of that quality and recognize it, and will pay for it. Sustainability is very important in the Europe region, and also surprisingly even in the Middle East, it's gaining interest as Middle East customers and producers are trying to promote and export their products to Europe and other markets. They get asked about sustainability. But sustainability in Europe is really where we started getting the first signals for U.S. soybeans about the importance of it. And actually we had a great answer with the conservation programs that have been in the U.S. since the 1930s. The EU wasn't even the EU back then, and we had conservation plans, sustainability systems that were really decades ahead of the rest of the world. So we've been able to tell that story, our farmers have told that story, and our customers are very receptive. The SSAP, or Soy Sustainability Assurance Protocol, has been accepted by FEFAC. FEFAC is the European Feed Association, made up of over 20 of the member countries of the EU. So in the last year, we exported 4 million tons of U.S. soy. The importers to Europe, the importers got the SSAP on over 2 million, so a little over 50% of the imports into Europe of U.S. soy is under the SSAP program. And globally, actually 5% of the traded soy in the world is under SSAP. So it's quite an accomplishment when you think that's only formed 3 or 4 years ago. But it builds on the work our farmers have done for over 80 years. The USSEC brings together our customers in a lot of opportunities to meet with technical experts and also the exporters out of the U.S. We provide technical assistance to some of the large poultry operations, back to dairy and aquaculture. We provide the information. It's always a focus on the production, the whole production system, but we focus primarily on nutrition, and that nutrition story comes back to U.S. soybeans and the advantages that it provides. One of the big challenges we faced in Europe was the sustainability. If you go back 5 years, the feed organizations were saying they wanted to be 100% of their supply of soy sustainably sourced. So that was a big challenge for them. They're still working to get that 100%, but the availability from the U.S. could meet that need. So they were asking for solutions, and USSEC and the U.S. soy industry was able to provide that through the SSAP. So FEFAC, the Feed Association in Europe, has accepted U.S. soybeans as sustainably sourced, and through that also groups like the Consumer Goods Forum, which represents the largest retailers and consumer goods companies globally, through the FEFAC soy sourcing guidelines, have also approved U.S. soy. So it's great to be able to go in and know that our products are recognized and approved by these organizations. In Europe and North Africa continues to grow, and actually in the last 5 years, Europe was the second fastest growing pork and poultry by volume. So U.S. was number one, increasing our poultry and pork production in the U.S., but Europe was number two. So we hear a lot about Asia. We love the Asia markets, but sometimes Europe is seen as a mature market, but there's still a lot of opportunity for growth. And the Middle East, although they, especially if you go back a few years, had quite a few challenges, it comes out well, and those feed and food industries continue to grow, and they continue to seek out U.S. soybeans. At this conference here at the Soy Exchange, we have 45 customers from the Europe and the Middle East. So it's a great opportunity for them to come together to meet some of their colleagues around the world. And while they're competitors, they're also like to share stories, share challenges, look for opportunities. And a meeting like here at the Global Trade Exchange is very important to have this ability to to also meet with our U.S. soybean farmers and then meet with other people in the soy industry around the world. So it provides a great opportunity for our customers to do that. Our customers always, when they talk with farmers, have two major questions. One, what's the crop look like? What's the supply going to be? And then the price. But also a question is quality. That's concerning for the customers, and it's also as our farmers are proud to produce the best soybean crop in the world and be able to talk to their customers about that. So when we have these type of meetings in the Midwest here, it's a good opportunity for them to see it firsthand, to meet both our U.S. exporters and our U.S. soybean farmers. Working with our customers, one of the key things that they always greatly appreciate is meeting our U.S. soybean producers. So we do that in events here in the U.S., like the Global Trade Exchange, but also in farmers, introducing them to our customers around the world in their local markets. And this is very important for our customers to see this. They hear straight from the producer. Our producers are able to relay that message very directly. And the customers appreciate the emotion, the sincerity that our producers bring in talking about their crops. So it's very important to continue these relationships and give that opportunity. Also, our soybean farmers get to see what's going on in these local markets, see the opportunities, some of the challenges that are out there as well. So that's always important. So it's very much both sides for our customers to hear from the soybean farmers themselves in the U.S. and then to hear their messages back to our U.S. producers. International trade continues to grow, especially in soybeans. Soy exports are 25% of our total U.S. agricultural exports, over 25 billion each year. So it's extremely important to our ag industry. That's a number that continues to grow. Most of it is driven by China, but really around the world that growth continues. So it continues in the region I work in Europe and Middle East, North Africa. So it's just great to be in an industry and markets that are looking to increase the opportunities, that understand and appreciate the value that U.S. soybeans bring to them. Well, U.S. soy, we like to talk to our customers about three major traits. First is reliability. When you buy from the U.S., our infrastructure system is best in the world in providing large volume of commodity crops, so they can get that supply on time. What they expected to get, they will receive. Also, the performance advantage or the quality, and this is the amino acids. Even though our protein's not always the highest in the world, really what the customers are using are the amino acids in their poultry and pork and animal production. So the U.S. does have advantages in both amino acid and energy. And the third is sustainability in our program and the support that our soybean farmers and our industry provides customers throughout the world. So sustainability is a growing focus of many of our customers. And again, the U.S. is really the world leader in conservation and sustainable supply, and a very good system that provides that directly to our customers. In Middle East, North Africa, one of the great opportunities we see is in aquaculture. The leading market in aquaculture in Middle East is Egypt. Actually, Egypt's the home of the tilapia, so the fish that now has become very popular in the U.S. Started in Egypt, and they're one of the major producers of tilapia in the world. Recently, I was at one facility, actually connected with the Suez Canal, that has 1,100 fish ponds, so over 1,000 one-acre ponds of fish. So that's just the scale. It's a little bit unique in the Middle East, but that's the kind of scale that is happening in many of these countries, and to do that, they're going to need more feed and they're going to need more U.S. soybeans. So we see aquaculture as good opportunity in countries like Saudi Arabia, and even in North Africa countries like Morocco, Tunisia are looking to expand this. The populations love to eat fish, and they have to look to aquaculture to provide more of that to the consumer base. As aquaculture production grows in the Middle East and in Europe, it's a great opportunity for U.S. soy. A lot of the fish diets take anywhere from 25% to 50% of the feed as soybeans. And this gives a great opportunity as this continues to increase to provide more feed and a very good quality feed to those customers. So it's a great opportunity. There's lots of research still being done on how to increase different species in the aquaculture field. So these opportunities are only going to continue to increase. And really, as the population grows, of course, they're always looking to poultry, and that's very popular, but the aquaculture industries have been the fastest growing by percentage feed industry in the world for quite a few years. So we see those opportunities continuing to grow. One country in North Africa that people don't hear a lot about is Tunisia. But Tunisia and North Africa on the Mediterranean imports over 200,000 tons of U.S. soybeans annually. So it's a great opportunity for a market. It's about 10 million people in population, but it continues to grow. They appreciate the U.S. soybeans. We actually have a customer there that bought from another market, and they didn't like the quality, and they said, we're just going to wait till the U.S. soy crop is harvested to get our additional supply. So those kind of stories are good to hear, and we like to work with our customers to ensure they're able to take advantage of the U.S. soybean production and the crops as we export those around the world.